Rishi Sunak says that he has cleared the backlog of asylum cases, but it's not entirely true. Anton Fernando says a drop from 136 to 99 is something, but the question is, how did they manage to do it? And the answer is, I think, quite a large number of the so-called backlog clearance. A backlog, incidentally, is a reference literally to the backlog in the fireplace. You have a hardwood backlog that forms the base of your fire, and then you use kindling and other lighter wood to create the flame. And then in the evening, when your fire has to be dampened down, you put a little wooden or tin box over the thing, which is called a curfew. And in the Middle Ages, most people were expected to have a fire permanently on the go during the day, and it was it was demanded by law. And the lack of a fire suggested generally that you didn't have a concern about your neighbours, that you were therefore inviting in illness. A cold house was an ill house. Anyway, the backlog, I don't think Rishi Sunak has actually cleared it. I think he's simply decided that a good number of the cases need to be referred to further research, and simply by moving them from one column in the system to another column in the system, it has effectively cleared the backlog. It's a bureaucratic fiddle, and frankly, this I was rebuked earlier for not using the term le gendarme, the sleight of hand, but I think really this is much closer to Liz Truss's ability with manual dexterity. I think it's Liz Truss, as we know, has a great deal of difficulty with her various hand gestures, which are clumsy and I would have thought mostly not terribly efficacious. And so I understood a while ago that when she was Prime Minister, like Mrs. Thatcher had voice lessons, Liz Truss actually had hand lessons. She was given instructions about how to move her hands, and I'm sure she practiced her hand jobs regularly, and to no avail, because her hands were as absurd and mechanical at the end of her 49 days as they were at the beginning of her 49 days. And she was as robotic and as puppet-like. There are some people who have poopophobia. I'm sure much of the country was affected by an element of fear of puppets just simply by watching Liz Truss's hands go up and down in a mindless motion of contempt. Anyway, so I think I think a lot of Rishi Sunak's claim can be dismissed in the same way as one could dismiss Liz Truss's hand actions. It's the only person who is pleased in this is Rishi Sunak. Nobody else is pleased, convinced, or remotely thrilled by Rishi Sunak's beating about this particular claim. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. He's thrashed around for a while over Christmas and thought, gosh, I've got a great idea. There are times when it's best to leave your ideas in the dreaming state and actually do a bit of work, Rishi. And this is one of them.